Year 2. This is Thursday's guided reading lesson, and today we're going to be reading the fourth and final chapter of Brer Rabbit. As always, if you want to read this independently, you can. I'll put the bit of text, the chapter 4, in the homework tab, but if you want to listen to me read it, keep watching and we'll look at the questions at the end as normal. So this is chapter 4 of Brer Rabbit, and it's called Old Man Sputer Splutter. The next morning, the sun came out. Brer Wolf threw open his curtains, and what should he see but his old horse cart standing outside his house? But no bag of chickens on the back. If you remember, in the last chapter, Brer Rabbit had stolen his horse cart and shared the chickens with his friends. It didn't take him very long to work out what had happened. "That mangy little rabbit-brained muppet Brer Rabbit," he growled. With a face like thunder, he set off up the road towards Brer Fox's house. When Brer Rabbit woke up, he felt just fine. His wife said that since the sun had come out, he ought to go down to the hardware shop to buy some things for the family. "What do we need?" asked Brer Rabbit. 7 tin cups for the children to drink from," said his wife, 7 tin plates for them to eat off, and a new coffee pot to put on the stove. "Okie dokie," said Brer Rabbit. He skipped off down the big road towards the hardware shop, and he whistled up at the birds when he spotted them circling in the blue sky. But he didn't spot the small eyes of Brer Fox and the grey eyes of Brer Wolf watching him from the woods. "He must be going to the hardware shop," blinked Brer Fox. "Well, that's just fine," said Brer Wolf, snapping his big teeth together. "Let's arrange a little surprise for him." Brer Fox nodded, and he gave a chuckle down in his red belly. The two of them headed off through the woods towards the home of their old friend, Brer Bear. It was a long, dusty walk to the hardware shop. Brer Rabbit bought the tin cups, he bought the tin plates, and he bought the coffee pot to put on the stove. Then he headed home. But the walk back was no shorter than the walk there, and when he got to the steep hill between the cornfields, he was feeling pretty tired. So he sat down by the side of the road to catch his breath. Now, as he was sitting there, he noticed some prints in the sand. Someone had been there only a short while before. He scratched his head and looked a little closer at the marks in the sand. One was the print of something with a long, bushy tail. Beside it was the print of something with a long, thin tail. And beside that was a great big round print of something that didn't have a tail at all. Brer Rabbit knew full well who those tails belonged to, and he knew who had left the big round footprint as well. "Brer Fox and Brer Wolf are playing smart, are they?" he said to himself. "They've come up here to lay a trap for me, and they've brought Brer Bear along with them too. It won't be the first time they've tried it, and it won't be the first time I get them before they get me." He sneaked off to the bushes, away from the road, and up to the top of the hill. From the hilltop, he could look down on everything for miles around. Sure enough, there they were, hiding down in the cornfields. Brer Wolf was on one side of the road with his ears pricked up. Brer Fox was on the other side of the road, scratching his nose, and Brer Bear was lying in a ditch, having a nap. Brer Rabbit knew at once what he was going to do, and he liked the idea so much that he did a little dance round and round. He had to put a paw over his mouth to stop him from laughing. First, he turned the coffee pot upside down and stuck it on his head. Next, he ran his belt through the handles of the tin cups so they were hanging around his waist. Then he picked up a tin plate in each hand and set off running down the hill. Clickety, rickety, rackety, clackety went the cups around his waist as he gathered speed. Brer Fox and Brer Wolf looked around, and they saw the strangest looking creature racing towards them. They had never seen anything like it before. It had huge shiny hands and a great long beak. The two animals hopped out onto the road with eyes as wide as windows. Clickety, rickety, rackety, clackety went the cups around Brer Rabbit's waist. Slam, bang went the plates, as he smashed them together like a pair of cymbals. Well, that woke up Brer Bear. He saw the savage thing hurtling towards him, and he panicked. He stumbled up onto the road and crashed into Brer Wolf. "I'm a wolf, don't push me, don't push me," yelled Brer Wolf as Brer Rabbit bounded through the bushes towards them. "I'm a fox," said Brer Fox, but before he could say anything else, Brer Rabbit leapt out of the bushes and onto the road. Slam! Bang! For a moment, Brer Bear looked as though he was going to protect his smaller friends, but Brer Rabbit slapped the plates together again and came leaping along the middle of the road. "Gimme room, turn me loose. I'm Old Man Sputer-Splutter with long claws and scales on my back. I'm snaggle-toothed and double-jointed. Gimme room, gimme room." And Brer Bear ran off so fast that he brought down a whole section of the fence around the cornfield. Meanwhile, Brer Fox and Brer Wolf hoisted up their tails and shot off so fast they nearly ran past their own shadows. Slam bang went Brer Rabbit's tin plates one more time, just to see them off. None of the animals turned around until they were right the way across the cornfield. And when they did look back, who should they see but Brer Rabbit? He was shaking his ears out of the coffee pot and quivering with giggles. Brer Fox, Brer Wolf, and Brer Bear hardly knew how to control themselves, but Brer Rabbit didn't bother. He fell down by the side of the road, kicked up his heels, and laughed until he couldn't laugh anymore. Brer Fox was after him. Brer Wolf was after him too. Brer Bear was after him too. But they haven't caught him yet. And that is the end of chapter 4, and that is the end of Brer Rabbit. But, as always, you have got some questions to answer. So let's take a look at those about chapter 4. So, if you go back to the start and find page 49, can you find and copy a phrase that shows that Brer Wolf is angry? So this is a retrieval question. You're going to have to look at the text or go back in the video, find page 49, find and copy a phrase that shows Brer Wolf is angry. For number 2, how does Brer Rabbit know that someone was watching him? Number 3, you've got some more retrieval. Find and copy 3 sounds that Brer Rabbit makes when he wears the pots and cups. So when he's running along the road wearing all the pots and the plates and the cups, what sounds does he make? See if you can copy them down. 3 things there. Number 4, why are Brer Wolf, Brer Bear, and Brer Fox scared? So a bit of inference there. That's how they're feeling, but why are they feeling scared? And then a bit more inference. How do you think they feel at the end of the story? So when they turn around and they see Brer Rabbit up there on the hill, and they realise they've been tricked, how do you think they feel then? For number 6, you've got some summarising to do. So can you put the events of this chapter in order? So you've got 5 sentences here. Can you put them in order from 1 to 5? And then finally, for number 7, it's a bit predicting. This is the end of the story, but I want you to imagine there's another chapter, chapter 5. I want you to write a plan for Brer Wolf and Brer Fox to help them to catch Brer Rabbit. So remember, he's a very tricky rabbit. He knows lots of tricks. Can you think of a plan to help Brer Wolf and Brer Fox to catch him? And as I said, that is the end of Brer Rabbit. We've got a different story to do tomorrow, and I will see you then. All right, let's leave it there. Goodbye.